Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Teacher Kim here. Um, it is cold in my house, so I'm wearing my sweater and I'm wearing long sleeves. Uh, yes, I know, unusual for me. But I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about frustration for learners, and give you my example and maybe see what you would do. So I have had a student I have taught with VIPKid for close to 60 times. Very good portion of L3 and L4. He's at L4 now, Unit 6, meaning he's about halfway through Level 4. He has always gotten away with the bare minimum in class. I have been working with him since I first started teaching him to try to build his conversation skills. And we actually were getting somewhere for a while. He spent the summer with other teachers. He still took classes, but he's with other teachers. And he came back to me in, I want to say September, when school started back, I think is when he came back to me. And I see him 3 to 4 times a week, 4 times this week. He is not getting the time to process what he's learning. He's not taking the time to process it. He is treating classes like something to get through. And at this point, he is frustrated. He is very frustrated. He can read very well. Minor errors, very fast, but he can read. But he doesn't comprehend past the basics. And unfortunately, as he continues to progress from now on, he's going to have, pulled my microphone, almost pulled my headphones off. He's going to have more of an ability to have conversations and talk that he doesn't have. And like I said, I've been working with him. We had been building his skills some slowly. And then he was working with other teachers. I don't know if he was with one teacher all summer. I don't know if he was with multiple teachers. I don't know if he took extra classes. I know he moved ahead in the curriculum in the major courses. So I think he must have just kept taking regular classes. But here's what he does, how I handle it, and then I would like your advice on what you would do or how you would see it. So his name is Jason. He lives in a big city. His house is very, very ornate from what I see of it. He always comes to class between 5 to 7 minutes late. So although I take a screenshot, I never assume he's not coming. He always comes. If he does not want to answer a question, now he's done this with other teachers. I've seen it in teacher to teacher. He will exit out of the classroom and then wait and come back in hoping that you forget your question. He wants to run out the clock. He does not like going past 25 minutes. I went to 25 minutes and 30 seconds today and he was about to flip out. Like you could see it in his face. He was ready to go. He only wants to be there just long enough to go over the content and go. The problem is, like I said, the content now asks him questions. His last assessment was yesterday, and he had 2 questions he got zeros on. He couldn't answer them. He will just say, no. No. And today he escalated to yelling, no. And here's the questions that I asked him. Do you go to a restaurant? Do you go to a library? Do you go to the park? And his response every time is no, no, no. So I gently reminded him, Jason, don't yell. We're just talking. It's okay not to know. It's okay to answer no, but don't yell. I'm always kind to him. I do love the kid. but I want to help him and he doesn't want to help himself. I can't force him to have conversations with me. All I can do is keep encouraging him. Even at the beginning of class, how are you? Fine. How was school? Good. Which that's somewhere. When I first started asking him how was school or what did you do today, he would say school. How was school? No. So we've gotten to good. And so every time I try to ask him maybe a different question like, did you have fun? No. I would love to just not try to ask him questions, but the curriculum literally asks him questions. It wants to have him compare where he lives. We're talking about my city right now, my neighborhood, and we just finished with Beijing. And it wants him to compare his neighborhood to neighborhoods in the story. All I get is no. He's told me he lives in a different city, and now he says he lives in Beijing. I think he must live in one of the districts of Beijing. I really don't know, because he keeps changing his answer to whatever fits what we're studying that day. He could live in Timbuktu and I wouldn't know. And that's okay. I don't need to know where he lives, but I do need him to, talk with me. Is there a restaurant near you? No. Is there one on your street? No. Okay. I do my best in class to school my expressions, but I cannot promise you I schooled them every time. His parents have never left me feedback. They continue to rebook me. I have him at least 3 or 4 more times on my schedule. I think 3 times next week. I don't think they don't book until pre-frenzy, so I won't know yet if he'll be on the following week. He's a good student, but he's not past what's on the page. So with him, I just slowly keep encouraging him. I have tried using props. I've tried using pictures. He doesn't like rewards. He doesn't like to look at the screen. You see maybe an eyeball when you're teaching him. So what would you do? I'm honestly kind of stuck. I am looking up different ways to encourage him past the frustration stage. And that's where he is at. He's at frustration because he can't answer the questions. He doesn't want to answer the questions, but he needs to answer the questions. And I know he's not happy that he didn't get a perfect score yesterday. He's one of those kids that will bring his project just to get a perfect score on an assessment. And he didn't get a perfect score yesterday. One question he lost points because he only answered one word, and I tried to encourage sentences, and he shut down and cut off his camera for a minute. One question he rushed ahead on, a math question, and I had to go back and help him walk through it, which means I had to give him assistance. Again, losing a point. Pardon me for 1 second, my throat's starting to hurt. I apologize. So how would you handle it? All I know to do at this point is to continue slowly encouraging him, asking him maybe different questions, asking him questions in a different way, and trying to just slowly get him to answer something other than no. I don't know that he will push past this stage or that he will try to get past this stage. He is, again, the type that wants those class numbers onto his belt. There's no parental support that I've seen. I've never seen a parent. I have never heard from a parent. I leave honest feedback. Jason was late. Jason would do better if he had more time in class, if he came on time. He would do better if he doesn't yell at the teacher. I even asked him, please remind Jason not to yell at the teacher. It's okay to be upset, but he doesn't need to yell. I can see it on his face. Well, the part of his face I can see. Uh, he's very, very smart. So, I don't really have advice in this video, just more explaining my situation I'm in with him and what I'm trying to do. What would you do? What would you do with a student who's at the point of frustration because they don't know how to extend? They don't, from the perspective of the classes, he doesn't seem to want to extend and learn. What would you do? Let me know in the comments how you would handle your own Jason, or how you would handle my Jason if he was to come to your classroom. How would you encourage extension, knowing that he's going to either tell you no, leave the classroom, and he literally leaves you only enough time to go through the material? It's very hard when you lose 7 minutes of class on an L4 class to get through all the material, nonetheless add an extension that's needed. So, what would you do? Personally, I just continue to keep pushing forward, keep asking him, keep trying, and keep encouraging his parents to book him with, and I've asked LP, book him with free talk, book him with classes where he's not content driven, where we can take the time to extend. I'd be happy to do it with him. What would you do? Thanks for watching. Bye!